Well, g'day and welcome to Stu's Shed, the YouTube Chronicles. Just going to take you on a very brief tour around the Walko Workbench. And this is the one that comes from Ideal Tools. And as you can see here, I've got it set up with an A-frame configuration, and I've got the cross member actually locked in place, so there's no chance of that moving. And that's just simply because I don't have enough wall space for this to become a wall unit, and so therefore I'm using it freestanding. Also too, quite often you'd see one of these benches actually on the other side and giving a nice big flat work area, and I still have that option whenever I want, but just because I've got quite limited space in this workshop, I've opted to actually use only one bench as a work surface, and the second one I've mounted just below it to be a bit of a shelf, and I'm finding that actually quite a convenient arrangement. Now these actually do lock into place, and there's a lever here that can be flicked out, so that makes it then so it can be removed, and that can lock down, so then that's locked in place. Now the bench itself, you can actually open this up and make it flat, and as you can probably hopefully see here, there's a bit of a tooth pattern there, and you just simply loosen off these knobs, and you do that all the way along, and then you can actually open this whole unit up so it becomes a nice big flat platform. And when it's in that configuration, you can lay a large sheet of plywood or particle board or whatever on top, and use then this as a cutting surface. And these bits of plastic here are actually sacrificial, and you can cut through those, and then once they wear out you can then replace them with some others, or I'm certainly still thinking that you probably can put some MDF stripping or something like that in there and in their place. Now one thing I've found really useful, these tops, they're a bamboo laminate top, and they are quite waterproof. They say they'll take about 24 hours or they're water resistant for about 24 hours. So I've found it quite good because I have occasionally spilt a bit on them, or had a bit of rain land on them, and that's not an issue. But with all these dog holes here, it becomes quite easy to affix a piece of material down here, and I get one of these, which is the Festool Clamp. Now this end here has been narrowed down deliberately with this clamp design, so you can bring it up, drop through the dog hole, bring it down, and then clamp your workpiece to the bench. Now the other system that this actually comes from Walko are a surface clamp, and I find these really useful for a number of reasons. You've got these, which is just a stationary dog. They fit in to the holes there, and then you can work just butted it straight up against them, and for a lot of operations that may be all you need. But then if you actually want to really clamp down onto that surface, you've got these ones here, and they're on a bit of a cam arrangement, and so you can drop that into the hole, you slide that up against the workpiece, and then as you operate the cam lever, that then really locks the workpiece down. And in this case, if I drop a second one in, and that's fully securing the workpiece, and yet it's such a low profile clamp that it's actually below the surface there, so you can actually work on that surface even though it's fully clamped down. So that's just a really quick look at the Walko workbench there, and yeah, I'm finding it just really useful as having that work surface in the workshop, but it's also that it's portable, that I can actually take it, move it around. I can actually take it out to the car and put it in the back of the station wagon and take it on site. So that's a very convenient aspect to it. And also that I can actually use it not only as a workbench, but I can then open it up and use it for panel saw type work and working with large materials as well. And just the last thing I was going to mention with it, I have an idea, and I haven't followed through on it yet, but I've purchased this vise here, which is just a stock standard bench vise, and I'm looking at actually fixing that under the table, putting some wooden jaws on it, and then actually having a vise that also fixes to the table, and then just making this workbench even more of one that's suitable for woodworking.